8 weeks ago, when I started working on this book, it was motivated by two factors. First, what ISIS is already doing, the promises they've made, and then a conversation with a close friend about the complete collapse of security along our southern border. And those two factors came together.
I've never seen Rick Joyner so serious, strong, so precise, because he doesn't do this.
Yes.
You believe that we have passed the point of no return on this thing?
Yes. You asked me a little bit earlier about how did this book happen, what happened. You and I had a wonderful visit back in the spring when we were discussing 1 second after and being prepared for things like EMP and solar storms. I was working on a different book at the time. I just finished it. And on June 28th, by the way, I just got formally engaged.
Congratulations.
This wonderful lady. Thank you. Hi, Robin. On that day, I had a conversation with a very close friend about the collapse of the security on the southern border. Robin and I were going out to a dinner together. Robin, I have found to be very much a spiritual guide for me in many ways. We were driving down the road, we were talking about ISIS, we were talking about the security issue on the southern border, and Robin looked at me and she said, I think God is calling you to write about this. I went home, we actually just had dinner, and I said, I got to go home and work. And I will tell you, the reaction you had, well, I've had 2 months to process it, but at 2 in the morning, I called her up in tears. And I said, I can't do this. I saw horrors. Some of you might recall how in June, when ISIS launched its offensive, media, mainstream media started saying, well, we have this footage of a purported execution or an alleged execution. Well, you can go inside the internet just for 2 or 3 minutes and dig a little bit deeper. I was looking at the actual images of beheadings, of Christians being crucified, of hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing, mass executions of POWs, an incident you can look up called the River of Blood. And I'm calling my fiance up, and I was like, how am I supposed to write about this? And she pushed me forward. I started writing the book the next day. It took me 6 weeks. And I turned it over to my agent. I completely skipped standard publication business, which usually takes a year. And I called my agent and publicist. I said, we're going to do this one on our own. We can't wait. I think this is on top of us right now. The conclusion I've come to is ISIS has done everything they've promised. When they launched their offensive, when they've done the mass executions and the slaughter, horrible things. Everything they've promised has happened. And they promised they will bring the war to America. Now, in recent weeks, they have taken a supposed pounding back with some bombs being dropped. These are masters of public relations and social media. This is not the Al-Qaeda type terrorism of grainy images of their leader hiding up in a mountain. They are putting out slick videos to the world almost every day. And they have promised they will bring it to America. Our southern border is wide open. People I know who are connected to border security said it's an open river of hatred. And as I finished this book, I remember talking with Robin about it, and I said, I feel like I'm staring into the eyes of Satan.